Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Sergeant Timothy Parati. I'm the Media Relations Officer for the Integrated Homicide Investigation Team. I'm joined today by Assistant Commissioner David Tabould, Federal Policing Officer in Charge, Pacific Region. Superintendent Hardeep Nijjar, Officer in Charge of the Integrated Homicide Investigation Team. Assistant Commissioner Brian Edwards, Officer in Charge of the Surrey RCMP Detachment. And Corporal Sarbjeet Sangha, Media Relations Officer with the Surrey RCMP Detachment. We're here today to provide an update regarding the investigation into the homicide of Hardeep Nijjar. Statements will be read by Assistant Commissioner Tabould and Superintendent Nijjar, both of which will also be read in French. Following the statements and comments by Assistant Commissioner Edwards, there will be a question and answer period. Corporal Sangha is available to assist with any questions requiring Punjabi translation. Le commissaire adjoint Tabould et le superintendent Nijjar liront tout d'abord des déclarations en anglais, puis en français. Following the question and answer period, myself and Assistant Commissioner Tabould will be available to answer questions in French, while Corporal Sangha will be available to answer in Punjabi. Après la période de questions, la commissaire adjoint Tabould et moi-même seront à votre disposition pour répondre aux questions, à toutes questions en français. I'll now turn the microphone over to Assistant Commissioner Tabould.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. I am Assistant Commissioner David Tabould, Commander of the Federal Policing Program in the Pacific Region. Bonjour et merci de vous être joint à nous aujourd'hui. Je suis le commissaire adjoint David Tabould, chef du programme de la police fédérale de la région du Pacifique. Si vous avez des questions en français, s'il vous plaît, n'hésitez pas à les poser. Today we are here to announce significant developments about the investigation into the murder of Hardeep Nijjar that took place on June 18th, 2023 in Surrey, BC. Following many months of investigative work by the Integrated Homicide Investigation Team, with close collaboration and assistance from the Federal Policing Program in BC, RCMP National Headquarters, the Surrey RCMP Detachment, and other partner agencies, 3 suspects have been arrested and charged for their alleged involvement in the killing of Mr. Nijjar. Now, with unequivocal commitment to the administration of justice, and with reverence to the upcoming judicial process on this matter, we are not able to make any comments about the nature of the evidence collected by police, nor can we speak about the motive behind the murder of Mr. Nijjar. However, understanding this situation has attracted considerable and very broad public interest, I will say this matter is still very much under active investigation. I will underscore that today's announcements are not a complete account of the investigative work currently underway. There are separate and distinct investigations ongoing into these matters, certainly not limited to the involvement of the people arrested today, and these efforts include investigating connections to the Government of India. The RCMP Federal Policing Program, IHIT, our municipal partner agencies, are responsible for protecting Canadians from the most serious criminal threats posed by domestic and international criminals. Today's enforcement actions demonstrate our relentless commitment and ability to combat the most sophisticated threats and complex criminality facing our nation. Here today we have Assistant Commissioner Brian Edwards, Officer in Charge of the Surrey RCMP, who will be available with Superintendent Nijjar and I to answer any questions you may have at the conclusions of this press briefing. But first, I would like to congratulate the men and women of IHIT for the outstanding dedication and the results achieved. I would also like to thank the RCMP National Security Program, particularly here in BC, for their unparalleled work ethics and dedication to serve our country on the separate investigative efforts underway. And also thank Surrey Detachment for their continued and seamless collaboration and support. The commitment and skills of these investigators are second to none, and I'm very proud of their work and their accomplishment. Nous sommes ici pour vous informer de progrès importants dans l'enquête sur le meurtre de M. Hardeep Nijjar, qui a eu lieu le 18 juin 2023 à Surrey, en Colombie-Britannique. À la suite d'une enquête qui s'est étendue sur de nombreux mois, menée par l'équipe intégrée d'enquête sur les homicides, avec la collaboration et l'assistance de membres du programme de la police fédérale en Colombie-Britannique, la direction générale de la GRC, le détachement de la GRC de Surrey et d'autres organismes partenaires, 3 suspects ont été arrêtés et des accusations ont été déposées contre eux relativement à leur implication présumée dans le meurtre de M. Hardeep Nijjar. Aujourd'hui, en raison de notre engagement sans équivoque envers l'administration de la justice et par respect pour la poursuite judiciaire à venir sur cette affaire, nous ne sommes pas en mesure de faire des commentaires sur la nature des preuves recueillies par la police, ni de parler du mobile du meurtre de M. Nijjar. Toutefois, étant donné que l'affaire a suscité un intérêt considérable de la part du grand public, je peux vous dire que l'enquête se poursuit. Je tiens à souligner que l'annonce aujourd'hui ne constitue pas un compte-rendu complet du travail d'enquête couramment en cours. Des enquêtes distinctes sont actuellement menées sur différents dossiers, aspects du dossier, qui ne se limitent certainement pas à l'implication des personnes arrêtées aujourd'hui, dont un examen portant sur l'implication du gouvernement de l'Inde. Le programme de la police fédérale de la GRC et l'équipe intégrée d'enquête sur les homicides, nos organismes municipaux partenaires, ont la responsabilité de protéger la population canadienne contre les menaces graves que posent les criminels nationaux et internationaux. Les mesures prises aujourd'hui démontrent notre engagement et notre capacité à combattre les menaces criminelles les plus sophistiquées et les plus complexes auxquelles notre pays fait face. Le commissaire adjoint Brian Edwards, officier responsable du détachement de Surrey, en compagnie du surintendant Mooker et moi-même, seront à votre disposition pour répondre à toutes les questions que vous pourriez avoir à la fin de ce point de presse. Tout d'abord, je voudrais féliciter les membres de l'équipe intégrée d'enquête sur les homicides pour leur dévouement exceptionnel et pour le travail qu'ils ont accompli dans le cadre de cette affaire. Je tiens également à remercier les membres du programme de sécurité nationale de la GRC, en particulier ici en Colombie-Britannique, pour leur éthique de travail inégalée et leur dévouement au service de notre pays dans le cadre de différentes enquêtes en cours, ainsi que le détachement de la GRC pour sa collaboration et son soutien continu et sans faille. La détermination et les compétences de ces enquêteurs sont sans pareil, et je suis très fier de leur travail et de leur réalisation. I will now invite Superintendent Mooker, who will provide you with additional details of this investigation into the murder of Mr. Nijjar. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Superintendent Hardeep Nijjar, and I'm the officer in charge of the Integrated Homicide Investigation Team. On June 18th, 2023, Hardeep Nijjar was fatally shot and killed as he departed Guru Nanak Sikh Gurdwara in Surrey. Shortly thereafter, I was called and took conduct of this investigation. Over the past 10 months, I had led an investigation in partnership with internal and external partners to advance this investigation. Through complex investigative techniques and tremendous support from the community, we were able to gather significant evidence that led us to the individuals that were responsible for this homicide. I'm here today to announce that we arrested and charged 3 individuals for first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder in relation to Hardeep Nijjar's homicide. I had investigators, along with Edmonton Police Services, and numerous other RCMP resources, took custody of all 3 of these individuals in Edmonton, Alberta. The following 3 individuals were charged for this homicide. 22-year-old Garn Brar, who's an Indian national, who was residing in Edmonton, Alberta. 22-year-old Kamalpreet Singh, who was an Indian national, who was also residing in Edmonton, Alberta. 28-year-old Karnpreet Singh, who is also an Indian national, residing in Edmonton, Alberta. We will be disseminating photos of these accused men in hopes of any information in relation to their presence in Surrey during the time of the offense. This investigation does not end here. We are aware that others may have played a role in this homicide, and we remain dedicated to finding and arresting each one of these individuals. At this time, I want to take a moment to recognize and thank CFSU-BC, Edmonton Police Service, and Surrey RCMP Detachment for their unwavering dedication from the onset of this investigation. I would also like to thank the Nijjar family, the citizens of Surrey, and the Guru Nanak Sikh Gurdwara Executive for their patience and understanding. We understand that the community is going to have a lot of questions. However, at this time, as this process is going through the court process, we may not be able to answer all the questions. In closing, I would like to say how proud I am of the IHID investigative team, along with the investigative support unit, for their dedication and determination, and to continue this file to find out everyone that was responsible for the murder of Hardeep Nijjar. I'd like to pass on now to Assistant Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone that is here. My comments will be brief. The murder of Mr. Nijjar at the Scott Road Gurdwara was outrageous and it was reprehensible. It had a profound impact on the residents of Surrey, and notwithstanding today the announcing of charges, those scars will remain in our community for some time. However, I want to share this, that from day one, this community came forward to work with and alongside the police in advancing this investigation. Critically important was the executive of the Scott Road Gurdwara, whom I met on July 19th, 2023, approximately 1 month after the murder of Mr. Nijjar. Despite their intense grief and pain, those representatives of our community, they provided their support, their patience, and their trust in the police to move this forward. Investigations in Canada are complex, and they're very, very onerous, and they take time. As such, the support from those individuals and the community at large was essential in getting it to where we are today. So the message that I want to end with is this. Our community is extremely strong. It won't be intimidated, and this community will work with the police and alongside the police to hold offenders accountable. We would not be here today if that wasn't the case. Thank you.
I'll now open up to a question and answer period. Before we take the first question, we'll just have some ground rules. Please state your name and who you'd like to direct your question to. If you'd like to ask your question in Punjabi, what we'll do is have Corporal Sangha come up, repeat the question in English to whoever it's addressed to, and then she can translate the answer back into Punjabi. So we can start with whoever's first here. Yes, if you like.